Good afternoon, everyone.
Hey Wayne, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm Wayne also. Looks
We got Wayne squared today.
yeah.
All right. Well, it is being recorded, so let's just get started. So this is our listings to leads 3.0 session. So if you missed the first two, we have them recorded. And we've just sort of been taking it this quarter, kind of to the next level each time. What I will say is if you haven't seen the first two and kind of logged into here as 3.0, nothing Vince does is gonna like scare you because the platform's really simple to use. Kind of once you get going, and there's so many videos and things, but so we happen to be calling this 3.0, but we've really just, kind of added on. So some of the stuff is, a little bit more detailed than kind of the first time you log in. But in reality, it's, nothing should scare you like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what he's doing. So if you have, just kind of pay attention to the platform, know that we can get you, if you don't have access to it, we can get you access to it. I see some new agents on the call. But otherwise, I'm going to hand it over to Vince. Vince, if you'll, well, I'll say Vince, thank you for doing these. He does so many of these for us, and Vince is listings to leads. So him and Scott, his partner in crime, have they started listings to leads and have been doing it from the start, and we've been a partner with them for a long time. So happy to have you on once again, and thank you for your time.
Great. Well, thanks everybody. Thank you, Wayne. Thanks for having me. And if you're new to us, welcome. I'm going to go show you the homepage. And like Wayne said, they can get you a seat in this platform. And while today we're going to talk about kind of niche marketing, open house marketing, expired marketing, FISBO marketing, and just how to create landing page and do that. And all of those things will, if I was not talking, I could knock it all out in about 10 minutes, right? And so for you, it might take a little bit longer, but you'll notice that everything is templated and very easy to do. And we're actually working, I just had a meeting with Scott and our dev team to make things even simpler. So what you're going to learn, it's still really easy, but we're even going to make it even more intuitive and easier to do. Before I dive into it, though, I do want to talk about a few things because we do a lot, right? We have a lot of automation. We have a lot of free social media content that'll help you build your networks, help you take your Google My Business to page one. Um, we also have a lot of tools that are automated marketing that help you get more buyers and get more listings and build your brand. We do this with landing pages, we do this with listings, we do this with email, we do this with print. There's a lot to that, and that can be overwhelming. And so, to that, I want to let everybody know that this page exists. This is leadgenwebinars.com. And we do live training every week. So I think I can send this to you in the chat panel here. Yep. And if you're watching this on a recording, you can just go to leadgenwebinars.com and you can sign up. Scott's doing a class. Let's see, what's this called? Social media, kind of like how are you going to market your farm areas, right? Your major farm area. How are you going to develop that? He goes over that once a week. That's a really thorough class. I'll be doing Get Started on Monday. I'll be doing a class for lenders. And this one here is pretty important. There's actually two that are pretty important. Top tools for more listings and Facebook and Google, which we don't seem to have on this. Oh, it's right here. So I'll be doing Facebook and Google. I think Facebook and Google basically these are really simple and economical ways of getting buyer leads and getting seller leads, and I definitely recommend that. We'll use a little bit of that while trying to capture our when we start getting into what we're going to do today. Now, every class that we do is recorded. This one's recorded by Wayne, so this is going to be in your library somewhere, but ours are here. And I definitely I recommend every agent that's working with us spends some time on this page. And these days, it feels to me like real estate is getting, oh, wait, that's the wrong link. I want to send you this. Real estate is getting like there's always a curveball coming, right? Interest rates, consolidation, companies that were doing one thing like Realtor.com last year, they're doing something different this year. And now I'm reading Redfin is part of Rocket Mortgage. It's just all these stories, right? And with that, it's going to be a more competitive landscape. Right. Last year, NAR announced that, buyer's comp is going to be kind of a different animal, right? So you're going to need to know how to really be competitive. And boy, I'll tell you, our platform, there's nothing else like it. Obviously, I helped design it, so I might sound a little, I'm in this camp. I don't know I can't remember how you say it. However, we definitely look at competition. I talk to agents every day and companies that want to join us. And I know what the competition's doing. We could bolt together 3 to 5 companies and maybe get close to what we're doing. And that being said, there's a lot to it, so that can get complicated, right? And so I often tell agents, go to this page, which you now have a link to, and watch the first 3 or 4 rows of videos, not just the first 3 or 4 videos. Because once you understand everything that you can unlock here, you're going to realize that there's a lot of lead gen, a lot of ways for you to reach your markets, and a lot of ways to help grow your business. So this is a really powerful page. Another one is right here, our mastermind group. And I'm going to send this to everybody. And hopefully this, if you go search for our mastermind group, you can often find the wrong one. But if you click on this link that I'm about to send you, you should land on this page. And you should see a button over here on the right that says join. Join this group. We will look at your name and we will see that you're a client and we'll get you in. It's a private group on Facebook. It's where a lot of our clients talk about, it's where Scott and I talk about the new technology that we're doing. And it's also where a lot of our clients share what they're doing. And we might look at this for a moment, but I'm going to go see. I know that we create a lot of short form video, um, the writing, the text. And boy, I need more coffee today. My brain is trying a little. However, this agent is showing us this is her version of an expired video. Okay, and we're going to see how to make an expired page. And I'm pretty sure the short form text to speak to that video is right behind it. So we'll go look at it in just a minute. I also want to show you something here because we're going to talk about open houses, okay, and how to market an open house. And it's funny because I think every year I see this message from a random realtor saying, "Should I hold an open house for my homeowner?" Right? And it's a question as if it's not really a worthwhile exercise. And I think if you were a typical realtor putting your MLS, putting your listing in the MLS, putting your open house in the MLS and waiting for people to come, then it's a 50-50, shot. However, if you're using our marketing platform and our tools that we give you in an open house, you would find that it would be you don't ever want to miss an open house. And this right here is a really good example. We have a tool, it's a print tool called a nearby homeowner letter. Just 3 weeks ago, this isn't the agent. This one agent borrowed a listing because she was going to sit at the open house while the listing agent was doing other things. And so she pulled the listing in. She gets this nearby neighborhood letter, and she prints it and just door knocks 50 of these. And by the end of the open house, she has her own listing because this piece of paper says, "Hey, there's an open house this weekend. Come check it out." And right in the same piece of paper, you can get your free home value right here. And that's how she started it, and that's how she converted it. And so that's really a big reason of why you want to think about open house marketing. We're going to definitely cover that. And it's funny because, Wayne asked me, what are we going to cover? And I said, I think we should talk about open houses. We should talk about expireds, FSBOs, because these are all unique ways of getting listings. And Scott, just in kind of parallel, he just told me yesterday, he's like, hey, we're trying to figure out how to build a print campaign for expireds and an email campaign. So he's actually hand building these things with a company called Go High Level. We're doing it in combination with RedX or My Plus Leads. I think for us, we're doing it with RedX right now. But the point is, companies like RedX and My Plus Leads, and I think a few others, can sell you a list of expireds. They can sell you a list of FISBOs and things like this. And so once you have the right tools to get in front of them, well, you're good to go. So this was posted 17 hours ago with my partner, Scott Pierce. I would definitely watch this because we're going to log in here and we're going to figure out how to create these tools, right? So before we go into expireds and FISBOs and other landing pages, I want to talk about open houses. Now, your listings flow in automatically via a company called ListHub from your MLS. So you put it in MLS, and then a couple hours later, we're trying to speed that up. It pops into this system. I don't always see open houses, right? Like I like not all the MLSs give us the open house data. So I want to show you how you do that. So underneath every listing is a edit button, right? So you click edit and you'll see right here, the second one right here is open house. So we're just going to add an open house. And I'm just going to put one way out here. Also on this page, I'll just point out a couple of things. Now, this takes, for some reason, it takes a couple of seconds, but if you look on this column, it's kind of grayed out now, you can put a video. So if you paid a videographer to do a video of this home, maybe a drone video or something like that, you can put it on that page. If you're using Matterport, right, and you want to snap that into our tools, you can put it right there. You just sort of copy the code, you drop it in there, and that will replace the static image on our single property websites. And I'll show you what that means in a minute. Like I said, this takes a second to create it, but once it's created, once you've saved the date, we're going to email a bunch of tools to you. So just to repeat what I was saying while I was baking, you can actually put an embed code. So there's Matterport right here, right? You can also, if you didn't put that in, you could upload a video, things like that. And I think photos, you can change your photos. I will say this because this question came up just recently. You can, if you don't like the photo that's at the front, you could say, well, you know what? I really want this one in the front. And that will replace your image that's on the front of your marketing, right? And then on certain kind of social media posts, things like that. So anyway, let's go over and talk about now that we have an open house, what do we want to do? Now, you're actually going to get an email from us with a bunch of tools. And I'm going to show you how to use those right now. First, let's look at social media posts because this happens automatically. When you've logged in, we're going to ask you to connect to your social media account so we can auto post for you. And now that I saved that open house, it's telling me we're going to post this at 10:30, yeah, in about 15 minutes on our social media account. So if you have your socials connected, it's going to show up right there. And it's going to look like this here, right? It's going to have your business page. It's going to have a couple, some data here. We're not putting everything here because we really want people to click on it to get your information, right? To get the contact information. And when they land on it, it's going to push, when they click on it, it's going to push to this page. And now that it's time sensitive, it's you got a ticking time bomb kind of thing there. So if you want the data, if you want to see all the photos and you want to see everything about this home, including the address, you got to click continue with Facebook. And at that point, we grab your name and email and we deliver it to the agent. And the homeowner or the person who clicked the button now gets dropped on this page. And this is the home, right? And I think here this is a Matterport, so we don't by default have Matterport in there, but you can see that if you were investing in that, Matterport doesn't have a lot of lead capture, but with ours there is lead capture. And again, on the single property website, continue with Facebook, right? So we're just designed to capture leads for you. Another thing to think of is when you have this here, check out our marketing plan. That is a listing presentation. People can download it and look at it, which is basically ours. It's branded to you on every page, but they got to give you their contact information. If they are looking at this, because they own a home and they're just researching the market, guess what? We offer a free home value right here, and you're going to get that contact information again. And there are some other PDF guides that are branded to you on every page. We ask if they're a homeowner, and yes or no, click that button. We have their name and email, and now they can download that report. So this page is just loaded with lead capture, right? So the point here, though, is that this is free and this is automatic. If you connected your socials, all that I just showed you would have gone to your website, to your social media accounts automatically. We also send you this here. It says share on your your seller's social media. And so when we send it to you, we actually give you instructions. And for some reason, realtors don't often like to read instructions. So let me just show you how this works, right? You send it to your client and via email, and it says right in the email, like take out the instructions to you and put this in there. And here's why you definitely want to do this. So you're sending it to your client, the homeowner. And I know that some of your clients are, 100 years old and they don't have social media. But for those that do, you want to become friends with them. Definitely want to become friends with them. Like that's going to be part of your business to grow your business. Hey, I'm going to help you buy or sell a house. Let's get on Facebook together, right? Now and so here's why. This might seem confusing because my name is Vincent Meza and it's Vincent Meza here, right? But this would be your client saying, "Hey, Wayne at ERA Solutions is holding an open house for us today, right? Or this weekend, and you might want to check it out, right? Please share." And then so if somebody clicks on this, it's driving to this page that I showed you earlier, and this has got a bunch of lead capture for you, right? So the nice thing about these kinds of leads is that they're coming from your current friend, your current clients, friends and family and colleagues, right? And it's not a paid ad. This is not something that disappears in 7 days. This is something that your homeowner, your client, put on their wall. It's going to stay there forever. And maybe one day, maybe weeks later, even months later, there's going to be one of their friends or family, or they log in and go, "Oh, so and so sold their home. Oh, I'm interested." And I click on it, and you're getting leads from people that your current clients know. This is pretty close to a referral, right? So if we go back here to where we can market that, there's also a nearby homeowner letter. And you make sure that you click this button on, because this is going to grab sales data from your market. And there are 3 different letters, and they're all pretty much the same. Okay. I mean, they just look different. So let's look at one of them. This is actually our number one tool for getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. And let me kind of speak to that a moment. You notice here on the YouTube channel that I sent you earlier that I did a class one day ago called Top Tools for More Listings. And that letter right there is the number one tool. Not because it gets the most amount of listing leads, it actually gets the fewest amount, but these leads convert into listings the fastest. It's going to be branded to you. This one's an open house. And so I had mentioned that in the mastermind group, somebody just a few weeks ago said, "Hey, I borrowed a listing because I was sitting on the open house. I printed out this letter and I door knocked 50 homes and I got my own listing from that." I'm sure she got a lot of buyers because the system is just designed to do that. But you can see here, you can scan, you can go here, you're going to find out about the open house, and that's going to take you here, right? And we've seen this, so we know what this is about. But if they own a home and they're curious about their home value, they can click this here and they're going to end up on this page, right? And they can get their free home value. And that's how this lady got her own listing from sitting on somebody else's open house. Typically, for open houses, people do not print postcards and things like that because it's kind of old news. However, if you've got a database, a CRM of a bunch of people, agents definitely like to copy the code right here, and take it over to your own CRM and blast it out, because that photo all drive to the single property website. And just like the nearby homeowner letter, this link and this are going to drive to the instant home value page. And you can even check out my reviews or get your home value here. So this one flyer has a lot of lead capture built into it. If you're sitting on leads somewhere, you know, copy this and blast it out. If you want, you can also send it to the leads that you're capturing inside of our system, right? So if you've got 45 buyer leads, you might want to say, hey, I want to send this to all those buyer leads, right? You can do it right through the platform here. And then here's a, remember how I mentioned on the expireds, there's a video call script. That's the word I was trying to say earlier. We actually create video call scripts. So you can download it, you can read it a couple times, and you can set up your phone just like our client did over there in the mastermind group, right? And we're doing that for a couple of reasons, right? I mean, social media has been a juggernaut for the past 10 years, and most of it has all been still photography. And in the past few years, video has been really taking off, especially since TikTok, right? But it was around on Facebook and it was around on Instagram. But realtors are hesitant. They don't know what to do. But I can tell you, um, all the platforms are trying to incentivize you and push you to go that direction because people respond to that much more than a static image. Okay. And so when you see in our system, this is about an open house. You could call, there's a call script here, but here's a video script. And you making a video and popping it on Facebook and saying, hey, I'm having an open house this weekend on this street in this town. Um, a, a thousand people are going to see that. And that's really important. Probably at least a thousand, if not 2 or 3 thousand people. And that's just on Facebook alone. Okay. You can use these apps as you see here, and you can put it out on Instagram and TikTok all at the same time, right? This is really important for a long-term strategy of really building your brand. You want to, the thing that I'll tell you this about Facebook. We have been training on Facebook advertising since the first week they launched it because we've been around longer than Facebook advertising, right? And they launched that platform. We knew it was a place for our clients to get business. And so we've been training on it for years and years. And a lot of people ask me, what about Instagram? I don't see leads coming from Instagram. What about TikTok? I don't see leads coming from there. But you can build your brands. But we've had so many clients using Facebook that our clients say, you know what? People are just calling me now. They're just calling me because they see my ads week after week on Facebook, right? And now if you can start getting your videos going, you're just building your brand even more. So I want to say one more thing. That's kind of the way of getting stuff out there, right? There is an open house sign-in form. So when you get to the open house, what are you going to do there, right? Get the Wi-Fi to the house, get your laptop or your iPad, and when people come into the house, ask them, hey, please fill this out. We'd really love your feedback when you're done. Please fill this out. Just click on this, answer a couple of questions. We're going to send you a mobile optimized website right to your phone. You, the agent, are going to get a lead from this form, right? And so that's something that you definitely want to use. One of our clients, if you go look in the mastermind group, you'll see just a couple of weeks ago, one of our clients printed out the QR code and put it on a piece of paper and taped it to the front door and said, our homeowner, the homeowner here would love it if you would sign in, please, before you come in. So it took them right to this form, and they were able to just fill out the form right on their phone and keep going, right? So it's a really good way of getting a sign-in form. Craigslist, I'll tell you this, it's a little bit, hokey to get to Craigslist. People don't know much about it. High quality leads are coming from Craigslist. In the old days, a lot of scams from Africa were happening, and then Craigslist changed their website. I have an office that has their own inside sales team specifically to deal with Craigslist leads because they're getting such a volume of leads. Now, one other thing to think about the open house. When you have an open house, if you've got a lot of people coming through, you might be sitting at the kitchen table or, an island or something like that. And what a lot of our clients are beginning to do is go over here to the PDF guides, which there are 80, and they're branded to you on every page. They're all about 5 or 6 pages long. And they may pick some of the buyer ones and some of the seller ones. And they're saying, hey, how to sell your home in a changing market. Let's look at the marketing tools. They are getting the print flyers and they're going over to like Office Depot and getting one of those acrylic tabletop stands and just putting the flyer there in the bathroom, in the laundry room, in the living room, right? Because people know what QR codes are now, right? And they can just, you don't even have to say, hey, would you like this? It's just like, hey, if you want it, download it, scan it for free. And guess what? They got to give you their name and email, and they can just download that right to their phone. Some of our clients are even printing these guides up, right? And just having a few on the table and say, hey, do you want to, talk about there's lots of concepts in here. So whatever kind of fits, Airbnb, you know, downsizing, all kinds of concepts that really are relevant to the market. So you might want to print out a few of those, have them on the table, maybe use some of those flyers, let people download them to their phone. Running an ad on Facebook, I got to just tell you, is the number one way of getting your people to see this, right? So I've got my listings page right here. We save the open house over here. So all the things I've shown you, I really think you should do. But the must do is running it out on Facebook. And I'm going to show you how right now. So I clicked on marketing and I showed you first that we're going to auto post for free to social media. But let's go look here on Facebook and Instagram ads. So don't forget, you're meant to connect to your, what is that? Why is that going there? Oh, it's a little bit wonky, but it's here. It's like, it's going to see the town that it's in. And then it's going to say this town 15 miles. You can expand the radius, right? You can say, hey, I want to go 30 miles. But it's a $35 ad, okay? And it's going to last for 7 days. And buyer leads typically cost about $3 each. And the way that this works is when somebody clicks on this, it's going to open up this form right here. And it's going to have their name, email, and phone number automatically pulled from the profile. So nobody has to type this in. And that's why Facebook ads is the best way of getting leads with phone numbers. Of all the things I've seen, and we've been doing this for 15 years, running ads through this system, the way I'm doing it right now, you don't have to create the form. We've done it all automatically. You don't have to look at the advanced stuff. The only thing I would suggest, if you want, you can change your radius. You can also increase the budget. If you've got a really nice home, you might want to make that a $50 ad. You might want to make it a $100 ad. And just as a FYI, I don't know if I would recommend this for an open house, but you can always say, hey, I want to show this home in other cities, right? Um, if you're in a southern state, people want to move out of big cities to smaller towns. They want to move out of, Buffalo winters to your warmer climate. You can do that kind of thing here, right? So that's just a FYI and just running an ad. But I can tell you, that's the number one thing you should be doing is running it out on Facebook because you're going to get leads with name, email, and phone number for 35 bucks. Don't do a $500 ad. The default setting is 35 bucks. That's going to get you about 10 or 11 leads because the leads are $3 each. But 2 to 3,000 people will see this and it'll be sponsored by your business page, right? So whatever you call your business, they're going to start seeing that. If you do that in combination with videos every once in a while, you're definitely doing something great for your brand. So that's how you get open house marketing effectively. And we have clients generating 40, 50, 80 leads in a 7-day period of marketing one open house. So if you put in MLS and wait for other people to do the work for you, I don't know if I would do that either. But if you're trying to find more buyers and sellers, I would definitely use this. So now let's jump over to the landing page section because there's a lot of landing pages here and you get unlimited landing pages. And the thing that you want to kind of think about is, let's see, I can filter. You can actually create them here. And what we're going to do in the future here is not require you to create a new landing page, especially like when it comes to expired, right? Because you could just say, hey, I want to create a landing page or expireds. Okay. And I'm going to name it. And this is the thing that we don't like. And what's happening to my deal here? Every once in a while, my keyboard just plays a mutiny for me. I'm going to just put in Concord and create landing page. So an expired page, you can make these specific for your farm market. It's not really necessary. That's really the issue that we've realized, and we don't want to make you make one for Concord. You could just have an expired one. But now that we've created it, if I click this eyeball, you can see that this is what we've done. And it says, didn't sell your Concord home. As an expert, I can help you. What do you think it was, right? Maybe it was this, maybe it was this. Get my free review, right? Now we're gathering contact information, right? So that's what it is. Now, I wouldn't, when I mentioned, let's click on marketing tools so we can talk about how to market it. I really wouldn't be using Facebook for advertising this thing, because expireds are a small percentage of homeowners, right? Of people in your market. So that's why if you go look at our mastermind group and you look at this this call that Scott's did just a little bit ago, we're really saying that you can buy a list of expireds. You can get expireds probably from your MLS. If not, you can get them from RedX or MyPlus Leads. And then you've got their email and you can send this to them, right? You can just somehow do it inside your own email. But there's an email here. So if you have those people in a list, right? And let's say you bought that list from RedX, you uploaded it to your own CRM and you called it expireds, you could take this flyer and send it to them. And when they click on it, it's designed to get them to the landing page to fill out the questions and get you the lead, get a confirmation. They're expired, but do they want to talk to you? And that's what the e-flyer is about, right? There's a print flyer. Maybe you want to just mail it to them, because with MyPlus Leads, you're going to get their mailing address. And the real story, and what this story is that you want to do this multiple times. And so what Scott's building out here is kind of a print campaign that goes out, every week for 2 months to, to engage that expired homeowner, right? So print can help. Postcards are going to be part of that campaign. Door hangers, right? So you can print these things and just get them out into the market. And that's kind of the thing. So you can create the landing page here. You can share it on your social media for free. You've got an e-flyer, you got print flyers, and you got postcards. And you'll notice whatever's in print's got a QR code. But if you're curious, there's a QR code specifically for that landing page, right? And so, and then here, I'll kind of point it out. I don't typically talk about our checklist, but I'm going to print it anyway, because some of you, Wayne said, are new. Whenever you see a checklist, we kind of just print it, we just put it in a format that maybe is easier to understand, right? Conversion checklist, social media, right? Which is actually this page here. But if it's easier for you to look at a checklist, then you've got it right there. But you're going to be working on this. So that's really how you get an expired landing page, and you get a list. We think you got to get that list from, a third-party provider, and you market it. So let's go back to the landing page section and talk about another important landing page, and that's FSBOs. Now, FSBOs, I think you can buy also from these same people, right? These same kind of companies. But a lot of agents will find FSBOs on Zillow. Just doing a normal search, you can find out who they are. And also Craigslist. A lot of homeowners want to just market on Craigslist because that's the only thing they know, right? How do you create a FSBO page? Well, you start up here where it says create landing page, and you go to the type of FSBO and you type in your favorite town. Do I know how to spell this? Nope, I don't. Sanga is good at Orlando. I know it's all that. I didn't say it. So, but anyway, obviously, any city that you and with a FISBO, maybe it's useful to do it at the city level, but we're going to make it so it's just a little more generic. And if we click the eyeball, we can see it. And this FISBO landing page, it's basically saying, hey, you're selling a home. Would you like some professional tools? I'm a realtor. Let me get those for you. And they say, yeah, I'd like social media. I'd like a virtual tour or one of these things. I want it. Great. Give us your contact info. We're going to reach out because if they want those things, you're going to need some photographs. You're going to need some answers and stuff to build out the listing in your account on the listings page. And then all those tools that I showed you earlier, you just give it to the person. The reason that you want to do this is in the United States, a FISBO homeowner usually lasts for 2 months before they give it to a realtor. So if you're the realtor giving them free advice and marketing tools, you're probably going to be the realtor that they give the listing to. And that's why agents go through that effort, right? And then, so now you know that you've got that page set up. If we click on marketing tools, can I run an ad on Facebook? You can. Should you? Probably not. Again, FISBO is a small percentage, and you might want to do it, but I don't know. I think I would again find that list of FISBOs. Here's the e-flyer that you can send to them. There's a print flyer that you can leave at their house if you want. You could even, one thing that I would do um, if you're going to be working on FISBO. So here's the e-flyer. Let's see if we can look at it. So this is already built and you can send it to yourself and forward it to people, right? You don't even need a CRM. It's branded to you. It's got all this stuff. If they click here, 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 they're going to land on the page where they can fill it out and give you their information. You can send that to yourself and just send them kind of one by one over to your to the list that you have, or you can upload the list and you can copy the code here and you can drop it on your CRM and go for it there. But I think one thing, if you are going to work on FISBOs, one thing is that you can do is print out door hangers. Now, Vistaprint has door hangers where you can print them out for like a batch of 1,000, and it's really kind of inexpensive that way. And this doesn't have to be listing specific, right? It's now just like, hey, you're selling your home by yourself. Would you like some, your marketing doesn't have to suffer. They can scan here and land on that landing page. They can type in that address here and land on that landing page. And since you have a list of FISBOs and you print these in any bulk, even if you print out 20, you can just leave them on the door. You don't even have to knock on the door, right? And that's just a good way of interacting with them. Another good thing to think about, again, for FISBOs is the PDF guides. There are 40 for sellers. You might want to print one, put your paperclip on it, put it in a nice branded envelope, and drop it off once a week. Email them once a week because you know that they're in that space and they may want something that's relevant there that a homeowner should be thinking about. So creating the landing pages is really easy, right? And I think what I'm trying to describe to you here is you can also get them out. You can get them out in email, you can run ads, you can share them for free on your social media, and you've got print tools to get these tools out there. Now, I'm not going to go through every landing page, but I do want to show you a couple more. I think if I filter here, one thing that came up in the mastermind group a couple weeks ago, somebody was saying, hey, there's a lot of boomers, you know, selling and downsizing. Do we have anything? What do you think? What should we do? Well, there's actually a landing page called Empty Nester Plus, and you create it just the same way we did there. And it looks like we don't have one. So let's go create one here. Or the one we have is probably. So Empty Nester Plus means instant home value. And I'll do one for Orlando, right? And again, this doesn't need to be city specific unless it's your number one area, right? Um, but let's look at the landing page. Pretty simple. It's almost like it's the same technology as Get Your Home Value, right? You can change the background picture, but obviously there are a lot of people who, it's time for them to downsize. I'm pretty sure in all of your markets that is the case. You might want to run an ad on Facebook on this, right? That's going to be relevant to many people. I don't see the print tools here and the e-flyer, but we'll add those on there. We definitely need to have that there. But you could take the link and kind of create it, that hyperlink right there, and put it into your ad and your email, and it will get, it will get out there. Let me take a, well, I'll get to that. I'll come back to that. Um, so there are other landing pages as well that, and just so you know, you each get unlimited landing pages. Here on this page, these are the ones that come automatically for you. Free home values. Um, let's give it a second. Down payer assistance, new construction. You can download the checklist here. You can edit here if you want to change that background picture or change the text. But you can create landing pages for all of your areas, right? And I definitely, I want to point this out. You see this one here? It says free home values. Every one of you has this. And when I was showing you, let's see if I can find it. When I was showing you, like, this is a single property website. And I said, yeah, we're even going to put in a home value thing. You see how that's it right there. So it's looking for this. And what I want to point out is if you click at it, you can change this photo because I don't know where you're sitting, but if your neighborhoods don't look like this page, you might want to change that picture. And you can do that right here by getting a picture. It's pretty wide, 2000 pixels wide, and put it there. Right. And that should look, kind of be generic enough to match your geography, the area where you are. Um, because that is embedded. This is embedded in many of your tools. So I definitely recommend that. But after that, if you've got like a handful of farm markets, you want to create property valuation plus pages, and this is a broader discussion of landing pages. And again, at this point, now you can run ads offering people's home value on Facebook, on Google. You got print flyers. You definitely are going to have an email. Um, let's click on marketing tools. You're going to have an email to blast out on your CRM. And this is one of the things where one of our clients is definitely doing this, which is door hangers. Remember I mentioned door hangers? So this one is like a no-brainer. Whatever photograph you put in the background there, it's going to be embedded in this door hanger. And this is one that our clients are putting up in Vistaprint and printing in batches of 1,000 because it's obvious. Home sales are in, scan here for a free home value. Really easy. You don't even have to knock on the door. You just hang it on the door. So, instant home value pages are always an important thing for all of our clients. Um, let's see if there are any others that we need to talk of when it comes to landing pages. Yeah, you can do custom, and every once in a while, agents wants to do a custom. I do want to say this about, especially a custom buyer landing page. You know, the internet was launched maybe in 1995. The first web browser, I think, in 1997, and that's when people could start to use the internet, when you can actually type in, "Hey, how do I find a home?" Right? But we're in 2025, and everybody knows if I want to look at homes, I can just type in homes for sale near me. So I don't really recommend creating a landing page for buyers to say, sign up for a list of homes in Orlando or in any city, because everybody knows I don't have to sign up here. I can go look all day long on the internet, on Zillow and here or everywhere else. However, if you're talking about a unique set of properties, like a golf course community, or maybe ranch homes, you got barns and stuff and horses, you get waterfront homes, lakefront homes, those kinds of things, people know they're like harder to find. And that's going to kind of be where you want to create a custom buyer landing page. Another good reason to create a custom buyer landing page might be like a class that you're holding, right? You're doing a first time home buyer class or something, and you want to market it, right? You can create that landing page, you put in some bullet points, you run it out on Facebook, a couple thousand people are going to see that. That's a good way to go. Um, so that's kind of like the landing page story. It's really important, especially if you don't have your own listings, right? You want to go out and do that. And I'm going to talk about this one here. This is the one I have for Release Valley. And so the nice thing about having unlimited landing pages is that you can target neighborhoods. Maybe it's your neighborhood that you want to do, or maybe there's a neighborhood where just the value of homes, that's where you want to own. I live in a small town called Lafayette. 24,000 people in this town. And part of this, one of the neighborhoods is called Release Valley. And those homes are exceptional. They're beautiful. You definitely want to be the realtor who's locking up that neighborhood. So you create a home valuation page. This is the swim club that's at the entrance of this neighborhood. Everybody in Release Valley knows this thing. That becomes very poignant to the homeowners. Now you've got print letters. Let's click on marketing tools. There is a circle prospecting letter, right? And that prospecting letter basically is talking about what's going on with home values in that neighborhood. And it's going to have the photograph that you embed in the landing page. I don't know if I would recommend Facebook ads unless you have a custom audience, but this is specifically for that area. You can go in here, you can edit and say, hey, February homes values are in, sales are in, uh, 10 homes sold, the high was here. Print this out, mail it to that neighborhood, buy a list from My Plus Leads or List Source or wherever of people with equity, more than 5 years equity. That is a great source for getting listing leads. The point is, even if you don't have your own listings, landing pages are going to have, there are free ways of getting them out there. There are paid options to get them out there. All of them are going to get you leads, either buyer and seller leads, whatever you're trying to get there. Okay. So that's kind of the story on landing pages. I want to show you one more thing in case you don't know about it. So we have a listing presentation. I'm sure you have a listing presentation at your office. We have one that's designed to showcase what listings to leads does. And since you're a client of ours and you have an account with us, you can basically tell them this is what I'm bringing to the table. So when you click on listings, there's a tab called listing presentation. And there is a downloadable version right here. But there's also this version right here, which is Flipbook, which is pretty exciting. Let's look at it here. So we didn't really go through everything that listings to leads does when it comes to marketing a home, but you can see it when you log in and look at it. But this document right here is 25 pages and it spells it out. Social media marketing, YouTube marketing, print marketing, nearby homeowner letter, email marketing, database, sphere of influence, all single property websites, virtual tours. We even make a QR code and they can scan it. If you're sitting at the dinner table, you can say, hey, scan this now, and we'll take you right to your home online on your phone. This is really great. And this is a generic one, not about a particular home, but you can actually, let's see here, you can actually take your property. And you can do this if you're going on a listing presentation. And so when you go up to the top, you can add a listing. Instead of adding a listing as coming soon or just listed, because those things should flow in automatically, you can add one as a listing presentation. Okay. And when you do that, the photo, you want to take one photo, you can do it with your smartphone, you can upload it and get it over here. It's going to replace those images that we were looking at in that listing presentation and put in the ones of that home. So it takes a second when we change it to listing presentation because it's got to make that electronic deal. But if you're going on a listing presentation, definitely go create a listing here manually because it's not in the MLS. And then we will be creating a listing presentation for you and definitely use that. So let's go here. Here's the flipbook version. It's going to take a second to pull up. But let me ask, that's kind of the end of my story today. Um, are there any questions? Yeah, that's my question.
So I'll just,
We'll
and
wait
I
for this thing to
normally do
bake.
this in the
But
beginning. So just so everyone knows, especially if you're new to listings, the leads, or maybe haven't dived in, dove into it yet. This is a platform that we pay for as the brokerage. So when Vince was talking about cost and the $35, the landing pages and the nearby neighborhood newsletters and the door knocker, all of that's included free. You print, you do whatever. But if you're gonna do that Facebook or Instagram ad, and he said run it for $35 or whatever, like all of that money go, like neither one of us see that money.
yeah,
So all of that goes to Facebook to run that ad. So so there's no cost in the platform, and to do everything, it's just if you're going to do a Facebook ad, they're
yeah.
getting the $35 or whatever number to run that. So just want you to know that that doesn't come to us. And but everything else that he's shown, if it ever says, here, I need money, it's because you're doing an ad for a platform.
Mm, mm, mm.
Excellent
Nice.
stuff.
I'm sorry, did you have a question there, Stephen?
Oh, I just wanted to say it was a great seminar, very informative.
Good.
I spent about 6 months trying to learn this platform.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, I tell you, and I think I say this every time. Like I mean, this is probably the 10th, or I don't even know. We've probably done way more
Quite a
than
lot.
10 of these through, or
Yeah.
since I've been, yeah, because it's been years. So and every single time I'm taking notes like it's the first time I've heard it. And so there's so much in there, and and it is easy, like it's as easy as Vince was just clicking around. But obviously being new, or if you haven't gotten in there and clicked around, definitely check it out. And that's when you can come to us, or obviously go to the to the helps, the videos on the YouTube or the mastermind group, if you have a question. So definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Mhm.
I mean, there are hour-long sessions in there, and then I believe Scott or Vince, you have shorter ones, like
Yeah, you know what? This is
yeah.
really great. So I sent this link to everybody here. There's shorts here that are a minute long. And they are basically saying, hey, somebody just told us they got X number of leads this way. Let me show you how to do it in 1 minute. So if you go to this channel, I'll send this to everybody again on the chat link. This is the shorts are great because it's a 1 minute bite, right? But if you click on the videos page, you're going to see some of them are 5 minutes long, some of them are hour long, and they're very, very helpful. Let's see if that listing presentation is up. And I'm gonna pull up something over here in the mastermind group. And I think I mentioned this before, but I think it's when you're trying to learn this and there's a lot to the system, right? Um, Sometimes and if you're a new agent, you got a lot of things to learn, right? There's a lot to do. You got to understand the company, you got to understand all your regulations and this and that. So, this might become really a last on your list sort of thing to do, right? And I want to point out this is a listing presentation that I showed you earlier, but this now is about a specific home. So it's not as generic. You can see the images on Facebook, on social media. It's got their home right there. So you're really speaking about how I'm going to market your home, not just what I'm generically doing. This is really powerful. If you're going to get on a listing presentation, please create the listing as a listing presentation before and take this with them. Print, do the print one, download it here, leave that there with them, and show them this electronic version. You're pretty much going to be locking up that listing. So I want to talk last thing and about this one guy here. So what I do is I do a lot of partnerships and I set up offices and teams around the country. And I don't talk to every agent because they don't all get on our calls. We don't do training together, and I just don't have time to call every agent that's using our system. But in 2018, this agent had been using us for a year, and he came in and said, "Hey, this is our highest ROI." He says, "I'm using your nearby homeowner letter, and I am mailing it with a one little copy of my calendar and this page from Canva that I made to show my reviews. And I mailed it to 250 homes first class, and I have 10 listings with the average commission of $17,000. He spent $625 to get those out. So yeah, that's a pretty high ROI, right? That was the first time we heard of Dustin Fox. And he became very vocal in our mastermind group. We even have a video where we are interviewing him, and he said, "Yeah, it was a year after this." So in 2019, he says, "I want to do this video." He said, "Because my business has tripled. It went from 5 to 20 million. And in 2 years, and 80% of my business comes from your tools." Right. And I said, "What?" I said, "How much time do you put in our system to do that?" And he says, "I do 2 hours a week. I put my daughter in ballet. I go next door to Starbucks. I work in my laptop. I do everything I need to do. And that's how I've grown my business." Right. Now, this is Dustin in 2024 writing his own book. He's selling his own book on Amazon about how to market as a realtor. There is one section on our system, and there's a good interview here if you want to go watch this. It's inside the mastermind group. Before, at this period in 2018, this guy was a manager at Office Depot. He had only been a realtor for 2 years. When I sold that office, they had 300 agents. They now have 1,000 agents. And instead of being a rookie, he now has a team of 24 agents. And in this interview, he says, "We go through that whole checklist and we run ads on Facebook and Google." And that's really the recipe for that guy to grow in, what is it, 7 years to a 24 agent team and just the number one producing team in that office. So there's good reason to take some time and learn what listings to leads can do. And other than our live calls, this thing right here is a powerhouse. So thanks for having me. Wayne, if we need to do another call, you know how to reach me.
I appreciate it. So just quick summary. This will be posted, the recording for this session in the Learning Library in the Agent Hub. It just kind of depends on when I get it. Later today, tomorrow at the latest. The other sessions are in the Learning Hub already. But check it out, log in, check it out, go to YouTube and click the link that Vince shared. Join the mastermind group, just kind of have those. It's just a little extra and just get in there and play around. And when you do that, if you have any questions, let us know. But thank you, Vince, so much. Appreciate your time as always. Hope everyone has a great rest of the day.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, take care.